West Tigers head home to Leichhardt Oval this Friday night for a round 11 clash with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and you can watch all the action live and loud in the lounge and sports bar at the home of the West Tigers, West Ashfield 115 Liverpool Road. So that kickoff is 6 p.m. That's this Friday, 15th of May. And you can try one of the Garden's famous wood-fired pizzas. Big Shane and I had one of those when we were at West, and they are absolutely fantastic. Or a burger or a steak, and you can enjoy your meal with a $5.80 ice cold beer. Selected tap beers only, and West Ashfield practices the responsible service of alcohol. Stay tuned for exciting dining offers and giveaways via this podcast in association with West Ashfield. For more information, visit West Ashfield's website, www.westashfield.com.au, or give them a follow on Facebook or Instagram at West Ashfield. And welcome into another episode of the West Life Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Barnett, and as always, we are sponsored by West Ashfield Leagues, best place to watch the game live and loud, and you can do that Friday night if you're not heading to Leichhardt Oval as we take on the Doggies at 6 p.m. And we are also sponsored by MG Pump Solutions, and we have the big fella Shane joining us. I'll get to him and Rob in a second, but as always, please give us a follow on the socials at Westlife Pod on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to support us and take part in the show, and join us in the Discord, where we'll telling the guys our inside news, which already got leaked. So the guys ended up finding out our exclusive that I was teasing for everyone that kind of circulated already today, but we'll talk about all that in a second. And yeah, so patreon.com/Westlife, and also head to our YouTube page and give us a subscribe on there, Westlife on YouTube. I can see a few people coming, a few people in the stream tonight, boys. But straight for those listening on the audio later on, 8:30 Monday and Thursdays, we're streaming pretty consistently now, and we've got nearly 30 people watching us, boys. They're obviously keen. I sent out the teaser for the news today. I'll start with you, Rob. I feel like I'm asking this every week, but have you calmed down since it's pretty fresh because it was Sunday night? It's only 26 hours ago. Probably pretty much 24 hours ago, full time last night. Have you eased up a little bit, or are you still fuming?
No, I'm not fuming. I'm just disappointed for the boys. I thought we did enough in the first, 35 minutes. We were better than the Cowboys, to be honest, and we'll break the game down a bit later. But just disappointed for the boys. You lose half your spine. You've got late changes before the game. I think we made like 28 tackle busts to 22. And kind of at halftime, I hate to say it, but I kind of given up, even though it was only 8 the diff. I was just like, where are we going to get our points from? We're literally going to have a one-man show with Jacko. He doesn't have his sidekick Brooks there. Peachy's going from centre to dummy half to all over the place. The boys were just ripping in, and I'm actually surprised we didn't get a big number put on us. Thought we tackled quite well. As we've said before, the resilience is there now, guys. We just need some cattle back, and I think we're a good team. I really do. It just sounds weird, and it sounds like I'm making excuses, but very happy with the performance overall. And, unfortunately, we've just been numbed by the whole year. So looking forward to getting some troops back for sure. What do you think, Shane?
Oh, okay.
I couldn't have said it better.
Nice throw, Rob.
Oh, just giving it a bit of flow, mate.
Couldn't have said it better, Rob. I can't fault the boys at all. Like, they're just putting in the attitude shift we've seen in the last probably 2 months. I don't think we've seen in the Tigers for 10 years. They just don't give up. Like, they literally don't give up. The rub of the green, like, man, we said it last week. We've said it the week before. I don't know how these boys hold their heads up for the 80 minutes when they obviously can tell shit ain't going their way, and it ain't going their way every single game. But the boys don't put their heads down. They keep it going, chin up, and just keep going forward. Like, I don't know. It's no other team has had injuries like we've had this year. Like, Roosters last year were pretty bad. I'll be honest, I reckon this year for us is worse than them. We've played 2 games now with one player on the bench. One player left on the bench.
Shane, I've heard that Roosters comparison elsewhere. The difference is the Roosters had like 10 to 12 rep players. They lose Cordner and Friend and the Morris brothers, and they still had, Tedesco, Manu. I mean, Manu got injured later in the year. They had Crichton. They've just got so many talented players there. Like, we don't start with an Origin player. So I think that whole comparison is a load of shit. They still made the finals anyway, and their weakened roster last year would have been better than our starting roster this year. So I don't buy the comparisons about the Roosters and us, like from other people and alleged other West Tigers influences is absolute garbage. We've just been decimated, guys, and our starting roster, I tipped to come 15th, and I'm actually proud to say I think I was wrong. If we'd have had our starting roster, we actually could have given the 8 a red hot shake the way we've been playing the last few weeks. So, if our starting roster wasn't good, imagine when you take 10 blokes out of it and then guys missing during the game and HIAs and, it's just, and the next guy just shows up. They're not as good as the guys that are previously there, but they're having a dig and credit to Madge and how they're ripping in for each other. And man, we're gonna really ruffle some feathers when we get some players back. We really are. It might be too late by then for the finals, but we will play an absolute spoiler role on every team. And it's kind of weird. I know we're not going to play finals, but I'm still excited, guys. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this team.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm excited for when we get the boys back. When we have, I'd say 80% of our team back, I'll still be stoked because I really reckon we'll run amok. And that's what I was saying. That's just the way the boys just keep their heads up and just keep going. We haven't seen this determination. Like, this is just straight determination now. And I'll be 100% honest. Like, I reckon all pressure's gone off Madge with just the performances. The fact we're losing doesn't matter anymore. The fact that the boys show up and put everything on the line every single game and do not stop is enough to go, okay, we're moving forward. Madge is probably the guy to keep it going. And we'll talk a little bit more about Madge and future signings later.
Soon.
But
whenever Josh wants.
I've heard a few bits and pieces.
You boys run the show, that's fine. You're the star.
I've heard a few bits and pieces just from a couple of people that I know that Madge is a very, very big part of the signings that we've got coming in next year. But like literally, they're
I've
wanting
heard
to
that
play
today too,
for Madge.
Shane, from really good sources.
So,
two different sources are giving me the same thing today.
Yeah, that's the same with me. 2 of my boys told me.
Late on me. Late on me, Shane. What have you heard?
Oh, look, it's obviously come out, but Crichton asked to have a meeting with Madge and Sheen.
So that part of it didn't come. So I assume most people have seen the Pom, the dude on the West Tigers forum, who is arguably like he has the best inside in terms of shit that comes out from inside the club. He seems to like be always onto it, better than actual journalists. Who, but in his statement, I don't. Or what do you call it? What's a post on the forum? He didn't actually say Crichton approached Madge. He just said we're putting in a formal offer to Madge. So that's a big difference, Shane. If Crichton's come, because everyone's like, oh, are we even a chance? The fact that Crichton's come to Madge, like that's significantly different.
Well, I've heard from people from inside Rabbitohs that he left the Rabbitohs because of the way they got rid of Madge. So he really has a massive respect for him. And after that, he was almost like, you've got no loyalty. So, like, what's the point of loyalty? And he hit up Madge and asked for the meeting. And so did Appy. Appy was also the person who first approached Madge and wanted to talk to him about coming to the Tigers. So there's two big players that used to play for him that want to play for him. So I think that sort of quenches the rumors about, oh, nobody wants to play for Madge, nobody wants to come here for him. I've heard, and the funny thing is, nothing really came out about Appy wanting to play for Madge. That didn't come out. It was just, oh, we've signed him. Oh, cool. But he approached Madge, was like, hey, look, this is what the go is. I'm probably going to have to leave the Panthers. I want to play for you. Let's see if we can sort something out with the Panthers and obviously make a deal happen.
Everyone probably assumes we're just paying overs, or like it was money talks. That's the only way we got him.
I don't think we're paying him heaps either. Like, I think we're paying him what he's worth, which is good because usually we pay overs.
It's not over the line yet, boys.
No. I'm talking Appy.
I'm talking Appy.
Yeah. So what I've heard from Crichton, he wants a 3-year deal, and we're going to offer about 2.2 million over 3 years. And he wants pretty much assurance that Madge is staying for 3 years. That's sort of what he's into. So, look, whether it's true or not, as I said, these are all rumors. I'm getting told by people. I'm not hearing this firsthand myself. But some of the stuff does come true. It's all, like, as we all know, shit can change in 15 minutes. So, look, everything could be looking completely positive, and then one wrong thing gets said, and they've off somewhere else. So, look, it's looking positive if we're getting approached by players of Crichton's caliber, because I think we'd all want him.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's anything about that, but
yeah, I think it's the right price too, guys, if he does come at that price. But I think too, with the Roosters don't let go of someone they don't want. So the fact that Crichton's approached us gives me a little bit more hope than sort of, throwing up a name and saying we want to chase him. I think the biggest concern is going to be the Dolphins. They're struggling to attract players, and they're going to make a big play for him, but he obviously wants to stay in New South Wales. So
yeah,
if we sign him, I don't know if you guys saw Papali'i yesterday for Parramatta. Wow, 2 try, massive game, and hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. And then with the Crichton talk, I'm thinking, wow, just take Law out of the equation. That's
Stephen front row,
great
Happy.
And Crichton can fill the middle too. He's played middles in Origin as well. So, it'll be a really good signing. And, things are looking up, guys. I know we've got a lot of players out, but just got to try and keep the positivity. It's such a good, the way we're playing at the moment, it's, even if we drop the game to the Bulldogs, we're going to be fielding our second best team. It's literally 10 or 11 players out. Hopefully we get a couple of guys back, but, I'll take a 1-point victory. We just got to somehow try and get a win, and hopefully Leichhardt will bring the best out of the boys.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll preview that Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Just on the Crichton money. So Mitch is obviously
got the calculator
out. So, it's actually $733,333.33. But the way that they should do it, I'm assuming Sheens and co will be smart enough. We are so cashed up next year because Adam, Dane, and Jackson are all signed up already. So we have, I think it's around the $1.5 million-ish, roughly mark. So we're so cashed up for next year, rather than the 733 continuum split. I think the smart thing to do would be pay him $1 million next year, and then 600, rough numbers here. But basically pay him a big chunk next year and then bring his salary down so we can pay Adam, Dane, potentially Dane, and Jackson after. That way we can have literally all these guys. So next year, really, like that's how they'll do it, because there's a few guys that are going to get some pretty decent pay rises for 2024. But do you agree with that?
Makes sense what you're saying, Josh, but honestly, from where I'm sitting, let's just freaking sign him up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but makes sense.
But,
I mean,
we don't want to lose Jackson or Adam.
Yeah. No, we're not
or Dane.
I don't think we will. I think. Well, Adams, in my opinion, Adams. I know Jackson's playing well. Adam's still the most important bloke in the club, guys. Like I said, we've forgotten about how good he was last year, and I think
definitely forgotten.
Signed on fullbacks money, so I don't think Adam's going to get much of an increase, if any. So the only guys that'll really get a significant increase would be Hastings, and no disrespect to Brooksy, if we end up keeping him, he'll probably be on less than what he's on now. So I think really the only upgrade is going to come from.
Good point from Michael in the Facebook comments. Brooks is on $1 million next year, but that expires, so that's his last year, that contract.
Yeah, that's next year's value.
Right, Rob. Speaking of Adam, what have you heard about Adam? So the POM has come out and kind of spilled the beans that you're exclusive. You both came at woke me on a Monday morning with two huge exclusives. What have you heard about Adam returning this week?
Well, I heard late yesterday Adam was a massive chance of being in this week, but he's literally a day-to-day proposition. They're monitoring him every day. And then I heard at about 4:00 this afternoon that he won't be playing this week. So I can re-raise POM's exclusive to not being true. So, yeah, I've heard he's not playing. But, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's named in the 21 just in case. But he's that close now, guys. He's probably a day-to-day thing. So, and, obviously we're missing a few troops this week. So it would have been good to have him back.
Yeah, for sure. Brooksy, the report with Brooksy is 1 to 2 weeks. Is that right? His hamstring, or 2 to 3?
I reckon he won't come back till after the bye. I don't think you mess with those things personally.
Thoughts on AD potentially coming back, Shane, and where would you put him?
I'd put him in the halves.
I mean, with Brooksy out, it's pretty simple, really.
It's self-explanatory, 100%.
So poor Jock's got to keep waiting?
Has to. Look, Jock has played good, but if he's fit, Adam has to play in the halves. It's that simple. I don't know. Look, as we were saying, I think it probably would have been a few weeks ago now. The problem is with Brooksy, the amount of money he's on. So in pre-season, if Dewey's playing really well and him and Jacko have an excellent partnership, it wouldn't surprise me if the Tigers put him up for sale and try to get 800 grand for him, or get someone like the Knights to cover the mill. And then we've got another $1 million to spend. So
do the Knights have that money after throwing it at Ponga?
I don't know. They need a half. They need a half. Bulldogs need a half.
They've got no money.
Well, they've definitely got no money. They're 100% over the cap. So it's sort of it's at a point where I think we might be seeing Brooksy go up for sale, to be honest. And even if we're paying half of his wage, $500K to buy someone else is pretty good.
Stewie on YouTube, could Adam not go to fullback and Stafford to the centres? I'm not a big fan of Adam. I think we're over Adam at fullback now. I think he's got to be in the halves. What do you reckon, Rob?
I think, look, it's the most obvious thing is he comes back at 6. That's an absolute no-brainer. But then when you look at the problems in our team, if Jock Madden fulfills a role, then there is the option of putting him in at centre, even though he's a better half. You just think, well, Jock can do a 7 out of 10 job at half, and Adam can do an 8 out of 10, rather than having a 10 out of 10 bloke at number 6 and having a 4 out of 10 guy in the centres. So he could definitely fill in at fullback too, but I don't know if he'll have the miles in his legs.
Yeah, it's a tough role.
He can certainly do it. He can certainly do it, and he doesn't have to do, like, he's not going to be doing much tackling there, is he? So he's just really got to jump for bombs and
but he's got to run it back.
And run it back a little bit. And other than that, he kind of could get a little bit of a breather there, and he can organise the defence. So, look, that's the beauty of Adam Dwayhe. Like, he's so versatile, he can fit in anywhere. So, let's just see who's available when he comes back. But if Jock Madden, has a good couple of weeks, well, then, we might say, well, hang on, let's ease him back in. We might even ease him in off the bench, guys. He might even be number 14 and just come on for 30 minutes wherever need be. Like, I hope people don't expect Adam Dwayhe to come back as, the gun that he was last year. It's going to take time to get his form back, so let's see how he goes. Yeah,
and with Jackson taking the reins of the team, I think he should be fine at that 6. Who was it? Luke, will Adam be ready for 80 minutes when he comes back? Look, I think in the backs, in the backs, I think he'd be okay. It's more like he's a forward. You'd be a bit more worried with workload. With Jackson doing most of the work. Yeah, I mean, it depends how involved he wants to get. I guess it's just
exactly.
But I think having his hands on the ball, in the back line with Jackson, and plus we want to see it. So who was it? Someone said the start of the season. Sorry, my screen's really low.
I saw that Hastings to 13.
Yeah,
and look, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, like it was talked before.
Hastings is way too important.
He's
way too important.
You can't. Hastings is lock, throw away the key at 7.
100%. Like he
is, but I also think he'd make a mad 13 too. That's the thing. I mean, he is a lock.
He'd probably make a mad everything. He's so fucking good.
Play that Toddy Payton first receiver role too. Like his IQ is off the charts, guys. Like some of the things he did the other night. I know some of his red zone kicks weren't perfect, or he kicked 1 or 2 down Kyle Felt's throat or whatever. But some of those cross kicks he did, and just the way he was directing traffic. When one of the forwards was taking the tackle, you could see him pointing in different directions to all the players, organising everyone. He's just got total control of the game. He knows exactly what he's after. He's like a coach on the field. So, you'd be an idiot to take him away from 7, but he could certainly play 13.
Yeah, my favourite part of that whole game the other day was that kick to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
When he was on the right-hand side, batted back, passed back to him, and he's just gone mad, just spotted the run on the left and just put it straight over. And I was just like, fuck me, there was no hesitation. It was just bang, bang, bang.
He's all instinct.
Sweet, I've caught it.
Footy,
and it's just,
dude.
But it's like he's got eyes on the back of his head. That's literally what it is, because he was looking to the right-hand side. And all of a sudden, he knew it was there.
Shane, they're not easy kicks. Like, he's a big guy, and like he executes all those kicks really well. The 2 goal kicks he slotted in were just perfect. The repeat set he forced. Just everything he does is just so good. He's just, like I said, when he did those 2 kicks, I tweeted we were down by 18 points, and I had a big smile on my face. Like, when does that happen? So it was just he's a pleasure to watch.
Right, Vaughan will segue on the back of his comment. The Cade Dykes rumor. So in our private chat, Shane message. He goes, Adam Dykes is potentially signing for the West Tigers, and I'm like, Adam Dykes, hang on. That guy has to be like 50 by now. I mean, we do have a reputation for signing old dudes, but Adam Dykes might be a little bit too old.
It was the name that rang a bell, because I'm like,
his son,
I saw Dykes, and I'm like, Adam Dykes. I'm like, fuck, that name rings a bell. Like, he must be all right. And then I'm like, wait a second. When you mentioned it, I'm like, fucking hell, he was around when I was a kid. I looked into it. I'm like, oh, fucking Cade, that's his son. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, thought that name sounded too familiar for a reserve grader. I'm like, no way I'd remember him.
So today as well, I was obviously I did a tease on Twitter about the signing. I did an Angus Young gif for Adam Dwayne, and then did an Adam Sandler for Adam Dwayne. When it came to Cade Dykes, I couldn't really think of anything to kind of rhyme or be relevant to that. But anyway, Shane, what's the news with Cade?
Look, I've heard where it's pretty much a signed deal. We want him before the bye round. So I'll be honest, if we get him, I really do think that Laurie's going to have trouble getting back in. Because I was talking to a few people today about him, and supposedly he's really good. He is really good. So, and he is a fullback. He isn't a half playing fullback. He can play in the halves, but he is a fullback. And I don't think we have signed a fullback ever. I think we've just signed halves trying to play fullback. So, look, hopefully it's true. Hopefully it all comes through. From what I've said, it's a signed deal. It's done. Now but that's a signed deal for 2023. We are trying to get him early before this bye round so he can have a bit of training with the boys and sort some shit out. So that's what I've heard. 2023 is done. We're trying to get him early.
Rob, your thoughts? Like Dane Laurie, we've talked about this year. He didn't look like himself, but coming back from injury, but he was starting to look pretty good just before his injury. Yeah. Do you think a bit of competition for fullback would be good for him?
Well, I think competition in everything's good, mate. Like you got reserve graders going well. Look at the Cowboys. Like I said last week, Jake Granville can't even crack it in the 17, and his early games this year were really good. So if you've got competition below, it strengthens your first grade. So yeah, definitely would help. I haven't been a fan of Laurie this year, and he was so good last year. He's arguably our second best player after Dwayne. The only thing is, I thought Laurie was just starting to hit like that South game. He started attacking the balls on the full. He started looking like his old self, and then he gets that bloody injury, just before halftime there. So, look, he might have second year syndrome with us, but I'm not going to write him off yet. Like he's got enough spark there. He's just got to be a bit more mature off the field and, stop doing 360s and 720s or whatever the fuck he was doing with skateboards and all that shit and just, be a bit more professional.
Yeah, the backflip. Yeah,
still gives me backflip with his scooter.
Yeah, whatever it is. He looked good in that Indigenous jersey, though, let me tell you. That was fantastic.
Yeah, good-looking jersey, isn't it? Actually, I didn't put that in that news run. I'll bring that up.
That is some good-looking jersey.
To have a look at.
I'm definitely getting it.
Yes.
I'm definitely getting it.
Fantastic. I'll bring it up on the stream. Give me a second. But Tyson said on YouTube, we need to back up Stafford Stars in Stafford Tower, not a fullback. We'll talk about a bit, obviously, in the game review. But yeah, I think centers are probably more his go, Shane.
He is a center.
Yeah.
Like, as we've said, we don't have a backup fullback. We don't. We've got a backup center playing fullback because that's literally what Stafford was, and he was playing a bit of wing. So, look, as we've mentioned it a few times, he's doing the best he can with what skill set he's got. He doesn't have the same skill set as Laurie. He's a center. So, at the end of the day, look, I really think he should have made that tackle on, was it Cotter?
Yeah, that was pretty soft. Yeah.
That was stupid. Like you should be playing the man, not trying to play a ball. Like just tackle the man, no matter what. And I thought that was very weak. But at the end of the day, he's not a fullback. We don't have competition for fullback. We've got Laurie, and that's it. And I'm hoping this brings in a bit of competition. I saw in one of the comments before they were just saying that Cade looks a bit small. Fullbacks don't need to be big boys. They don't. Look at Pappenhausen. He tears holes through absolutely everybody, and he's the smallest fullback in the whole competition. He's probably one of the smallest players, other than
he's got some height, but yeah, you're right. He's not big.
Oh, he's skinny. He's skinny. And like, look at Laurie last year. Laurie's not the biggest bloke, and he was absolutely tearing up last year. So I think size for a fullback isn't the biggest worry for me. It's how hard they run it back, really, is what I want to see, and how creative they are.
Yeah.
So I brought up the Indigenous jersey, which, oddly enough, it's so weird. If you click it, it just goes like
All of them,
goes
does
away.
it?
But you can to order it, you got to do your size and then put it in the basket, which I haven't done yet. But the orange looks a bit more, dare I say, Balmain goldish, Rob, which, yeah, a few people have said.
Yeah,
Rather
I've said
than
it too. I'm
yeah,
shocked by it, Josh. I'm shocked by it. Like,
yeah,
I love
it's
it.
weird to
Don't get me
go
wrong.
away from the actual colors, but it's
Yeah, it's sort of my heritage, but I love it. I hope it doesn't offend the old Magpies fans, but yeah, it's a great looking jersey, and
well, we've got the other Indigenous, the Maori V jersey, which is black. So
yeah,
yeah, I
That's
don't want to
probably
start.
why they did both of them. Let's be honest. That's probably why they did one orange,
Yeah.
one black.
yeah. There was a good comment there earlier, by the way, Josh. I think Luke put up there. Imagine Hastings and Dwayne. What an alpha halves combination!
Yeah,
Like that's some great leadership amongst those guys.
absolutely. Someone else also asked, how goes the stream tonight, boys? We hit the 50 mark before. Raise the bat, 50 on the
It's all those
live
gossip
stream.
windows you had, Josh.
Also, raise the bat. Thinking about Andrew Simons, my favorite player when I was a teenager growing up. Yeah, thoughts and love to his family. But man,
Indeed.
he was literally my favorite player when I was a teenager growing up. I was absolutely shocked when it came out. Where is it? There's so many comments tonight. It's hard to get through it. But what I was going to bring it up for is, Shane, you've got some words on Pele. What have you heard about Pele?
Franklin Pele.
So I've heard we have offered a deal. I don't know why the club seem to deny it, because you'd be dumb not to give him a deal. So we've tabled something, but he has had better offers, and the Dolphins are throwing some big money to get him. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes to Dolphins, but as we all know with the Islander boys, it is hard for them to leave their home. So it might be good for us that he might choose a Sydney team, and we'll go for him. But that's what I've heard. The Dolphins are throwing money at everyone, to be honest, because they just need to field a team.
They need a squad.
Did you see? Have you seen much of Franklin, Rob?
No, I haven't, Josh. I can't say I have. Only the YouTube clip that Shane put on Twitter. Yeah.
How would you describe him, Shane? For those, we've talked about him a little bit previously, but how would you describe him?
Oh, he's just an absolute monster. There was that story last year that they had to pull him back from training in the gym because he was just gaining too much muscle and getting too heavy.
Same.
So it's like, well, that's not a bad thing. Give that to me. So look, if we can get him, it sounds like it's going to be a fight to get him. It'll be good, but I really think it's going to be a full bidding war for him, and it's just going to go back and forth till he gets what he wants.
And is there any other news, boys? We've done the jersey. I think we can go on to this week's or last week's game. So I bring up, cancel. Almost kicked myself out of the stream.
While you're doing that, Josh, I'll just give a quick shout out. Robbie Farah, mate, he opened up his gym at 5 Dock at Great North Road there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone looking to get fit, get yourselves down to Great North Road 5 Dock. I think it's called BFT 5 Dock. Yeah, 146 Great North Road.
Yeah, I follow their Instagram page. Look, it's similar to F45, isn't it? Like that sort of style. It's not like a gym where you walk in, have your own workout. It's more about the classes.
Yeah, something like that. I actually said to him, I said, mate, I need to I need to get fit again. I put on a bit of weight since the wedding. So he said he's back in Sydney tomorrow afternoon to pop in and see him. So I'm going to catch up with him tomorrow.
Shouts to a friend of the show, Robbie Farah. And his new gym. It's on Instagram. Look it up. I'm sure if you go to Robbie Farah's Instagram, you'll find a link to it. So 36-12, talking about the game itself yesterday. We've already touched on it a little bit. Boys, we'll start with what we were angriest about, and what most people, again, like 95% of the comments about this game on socials was officiating. Like it's just baffling, some of the decisions between the bunker and the referee itself. Who wants to unleash first?
Rob, you're up.
Look, what disappoints me is, well, firstly, the first 35 minutes, I think we completed something like 15 out of 18 sets in the first half. Okay. We literally got punished to the max on every single mistake we did, not from the refs, from our own fault. And then compounded with that, when the refs could have saved us after those errors, they didn't. And it just got even worse. So, like, Brooksy lost the ball in the red zone in the 5th minute. Jakey Simpkin gives away a penalty from that set, and they go and score in the corner, which, by the way, I still don't know what that rule is. That ball touched the corner post. No one's saying anything about it on TV tonight. So I'm assuming that if you're holding the ball, it's okay for the ball to touch the corner post. Is that correct, guys?
The ball,
I
don't
want to say that
not allowed to touch the corner post.
The ball clearly touches the corner post. I know he's got possession of it, but I don't know what that rule is there. And then we know with our other errors, what else did we do? Okay, we strike back with a beautiful try to our debutant, Tupu. From the kickoff, Toa doesn't have his foot on the line before he touches the ball. Now, this is just the lack of IQ some of our players don't have, and they need they need it drummed into their head. You don't even have to catch the ball, guys. You can have your foot on the line and just touch it with your hand. There was just no need for him to leave it till the last second. It was very lackadaisical. We would have had a penalty, 6-4, kick on halfway. We probably make 15 or 20 metres, and we're in the red zone within a couple of tackles and on the attack, and hopefully, a chance to build an 8-point lead. And instead, the Cowboys get a scrum feed. They get a bullshit penalty from Kyle Felt falling into Peachy's stomach. Peachy did nothing wrong. Like, he fell into his stomach. And then they end up getting, a penalty, and they end up scoring from that. I can't remember who it was that scored. It might have been Tuolagi in the corner again or something like that. But it was just, we just shoot ourselves in the foot with stupid errors. Kelman missed a really easy tackle before halftime, which led to that break from Cotter. And as you've discussed, Toa again didn't make the tackle. And before that, when Musgrove dropped that bomb, Toa didn't even attempt to take the bomb. So Toa's had a bit of a Barry Crocker first half. And then some of those ref decisions, guys, they're just, they're things you see at the time and you think, why isn't anyone picking up on them? There was just a general kick downfield in the first half. I don't know if any of the listeners will remember, the ball bounced on its point and it went backwards towards the Cowboys. And Ruben,
I thought that too. It could have bounced any other direction. It could have gone out. Could have gone towards us and bounced straight back to them. Yeah.
Bounced straight back to him. Josh, watch the replay. He's 5 meters in front of the kick. He's offside. An automatic penalty. Now, it made no difference because we got a penalty from an indiscretion from Ruben Cotter in a tackle a couple of minutes later, and we ended up getting that try out to Ghana. But we literally got punished for every bad play we did, and we ripped the Cowboys apart with shape. Every time we ran a block play at them, we made ground from the very second minute of the game, basically. So we were tearing them apart, but for some stupid reason, just those stupid errors, we could have been like 18-0. And instead, we're 20-12 down at half time, and effectively the game's over. It's the same with the second half. The grubber kick that went in the in goal, Valentine Holmes is offside. And they ruled what's his name, Ken Mamalo, a few weeks ago against South offside. You could clearly see both feet aren't behind the kicker, and they've awarded a try. And the score's only 20-12 at that stage, guys. 50th minute. Yeah. We just don't get any breaks. There's other decisions there. I'll go back to them when I think about it. But I just think we absolutely got, like, for 15 out of 18 sets and maybe literally 2 missed tackles and a drop ball and not having a foot on the line, we got absolutely punished to the max in the first half. And we shouldn't have been down 20-12. I think we were the better team. So anyway, I don't know.
You know what shits me?
What's that?
I believe in the butterfly effect, right? So if you change one little thing, it changes everything, right?
Yeah.
So that one little thing changes the whole momentum, right? So if his foot was on the line, does Jake get injured? Does Brooksy get injured? There's so many things that I'm just like, fuck, man. All he needed to do was touch it. And the funny thing about the ball touching the corner post, right? So the ball is the object. The player is not an object, right? So if the ball touches the corner post, it is dead. If their forearm hits the corner post and then he flicks it back, that ball doesn't touch it, it is not dead.
Yeah.
So the ball is the object. The player can shield it, right? So that's how it is. That's an interpretation, let's call it, right? The thing is, I reckon it was about 10 minutes. I would say 10 minutes to halftime. I don't know what commentator it was, but if you go back and you listen to it,
probably Ennis.
Randomly, after someone else scored a try, he just turns around and goes, I wonder if that ball in that first try touched the corner post. Yeah. Why didn't we look at that for longer? And whoever was commentating with him turns around and goes, oh, well, you're a bit late for that now, aren't you?
Yeah, Vossi said that to Ennis.
He goes, well,
maybe it was Benji, actually. Might have been Benji.
I think it might have been Benji. He was like, well, you're a bit late. And he goes, well, it doesn't matter. If the ball touches the corner post, it's dead.
Well, cue my only compliment to Michael Ennis all year. Vossi, who I really like, was so biased against us. He was glorifying the Cowboys all game. And twice in a row at the end of the first half, he said the Cowboys are playing really well. And Ennis goes, and the Tigers are playing really well too. It's a good game. And he goes, no, but the Cowboys are playing well. And Ennis just kept defending the Tigers. So he actually gave us credit for playing well. And take away those last 5 minutes. It was just stupid errors. As you said, the butterfly effect, and that's the attention to detail. Like, yes, Musgrove drops that kick. We defended that set so well. They put a shitty kick from about 35, 40 metres out. But if Toa knows his job properly, he's screaming for that ball and he's running to that ball before that ball's even kicked. He's running in that direction. He's just left it for a prop forward to catch. And that's where the attention to detail isn't there. It's like against Manly when we got back to 18-12, why was Toa doing the hit up from the kickoff? That is a structural problem from, that Madge and whoever the other coaches are need to address. Why is a small back, taking that hit up and putting himself in a position to get the ball turned over? So they're little IQ things, like we said, the foot not being on the sideline, not attacking that. The most basic thing is to take the man with the ball when they make a break. Toa should have been just creaming Cotter. He shouldn't have been worried about the support, and that try wouldn't have been scored if he takes Cotter. And that's the other thing. We're talking about ref decisions there, guys. What about Dearden looking over his right shoulder and sticking his arm out? I think you've got it on the screen now. Sticking his arm out to Brooksy. If that was us doing the same thing, we get penalised for it. Now, Look, it was probably going to be a try anyway. I think Brooksy would have run him down, but they might have scored next play. It's not the point, guys. We do not get 50-50s, end of story, and nothing is said about it. I listened to Graham Annesley's press conference again. 4th week in a row, nothing about the Tigers game. It's all good. As long as we're losing, no one gives a fuck. It's just very disheartening. But the thing that encourages me is I just think everything's going against us on the field. Everything's going against us with injuries, and the boys are just ripping in. And I can't be more proud of them, guys. I'm proud of the coach. I'm proud of the team. And it's just it's not going to show on the scoreboard, unfortunately. But we've just got to suck it up until we get some troops back.
The past, I was so angry at this. I didn't realize the past before this looked pretty forward as well.
Oh, the real little flat one, that was forward.
Yeah.
No, the Townsend to Felt, yeah?
They were both forward. They were both forward passes.
It was like 2 metres forward.
That little one that I was talking about. That little one that I was talking about where they fed it to Cotter, he literally hands it to him, probably like 300 mil in front of him. Like just literally hands the ball to him and he just runs off. And it's just like, well, that was forward. The try beforehand, when they did that flying fox across, I said it to you boys straight away. And we were talking about it. I'm a moderator or admin on one of the West Tigers pages, West Tigers Fans for Life. And we talk on that quite a bit as the game's going, just like a running commentary. And that was brought up straight away. Like, you can see I said it to you boys, I said it to them, I said it to a couple. I'm like, go back and watch the flying fox angle, and he literally throws it from the 10
before the 10-meter line
and catches it on the 8, like on about 8 meters. And I'm sitting there going, how can the bunker call on every other little tiny detail of a try, but not call a forward pass on the build up to a try? That just does not make sense to me.
Shane, I'm going to defend the bunker there. I'm going to defend the bunker 100% there. You look on that angle, and Josh is getting it up there now. Have a look at that touch judge, guys. That touch judge is unobstructed. He's got a 10-meter line in front of him. There's nothing in his way. He's just too gutless to put his flag up and rule against the Queensland side in Queensland. That is a clear forward pass in front of the touch judge. Have a look at him, guys. There he is. And you see his yellow shirt back there. Like there is no one in his way. There's no one in his way. Why should the bunker have to rule on that when the stupid idiot with the flag is there and he can see it? You know, I'm
just saying they should be able to. The fact that they can't, I don't understand the whole reasoning behind that.
Neither do I.
They should be able to call a forward pass in the lead up to a try.
You know why I don't think they do, Shane? Because we're not going to get, a flying fox like that on every angle. On some angles we will see forward passes, and then we're going to go to a ground like Penrith Park or somewhere like that where we've got a shitty angle and we can't actually rule on the pass properly. So unless you've got a perfect angle for every play at every ground, I don't think it's fair that at one ground you can call a forward pass with confidence and at another ground you can't. But that one there, guys, the touchy's right there. What the fuck is he doing? What's he looking at?
Clear. If you can't make a call, if you can't make a call with confidence, then just say inconclusive. We have inconclusive with groundings. Why can't we have inconclusive with forward passes? If it's blatantly obvious like this, like it's blatantly obvious that it's a forward pass, the bunker should be able to change it.
And if I'm a ref there, if I'm a ref there, I'm saying, you know what, that might have gone forward, but hang on, my touchy would have told me it was forward. So maybe it wasn't forward. Maybe because I'm moving, I can't tell properly.
Yeah, well, the referee is perpendicular to the play. The touchy's in line with it. So, exactly. It's on the touchy, like you said.
100%. The touchy had to throw his flag up. And the fact he didn't, he literally threw the ball on the 10 and they caught it on the 8.
Well, it's how it comes out of his hand. Like, inertia can carry the ball forward, but it comes forward, it comes at an angle.
It gets thrown out of his hand forward.
Yeah. It literally
like you're saying, Shane, about the butterfly effect, and we still should be getting these decisions in our favour. If Brooksy and Jake don't give away that penalty, we're not talking about the corner post. If Toa doesn't put his foot on the line from the kickoff, we're not talking about Belt and the forward pass. So they're ref errors, but they're caused by our original mistake. And you think about what Toa did, guys. Toa hasn't done anything, in a way wrong. It's just not having the understanding that put my foot on the line before I touch the ball. He's caught the ball. He hasn't dropped a ball. He didn't drop the ball for Musgrove. He just wasn't there. He didn't think to take the man with the ball when he made a break. It's just basic rugby league IQ that we're lacking. It's not that he can't tackle or he can't catch. He's just got to get himself in the right positions and make the right play and have that practice. And it's just frustrating because he tried hard. He's not doing it on purpose. It's just him not understanding what his role is. And I hate to say it, between him and that one missed tackle from Kelmer just before halftime, they cost a really wholehearted first half performance. And we should have been leading at halftime. And it's not fair to pin it on Toa for those 3 mistakes. But the reality is, if someone that knew what he was doing was there, we're leading at halftime, guys.
Rob from Bounce of the Ball said, apparently rugby union rule on forward passes. I haven't watched rugby union since George Regan was playing. But, if they're doing it, then it's the same principle. I mean, I think it's the same rule in union. It's how it comes out of their hands. It's not a...
It is. If say, for example, Chad Townsend...
Only played it 9 years.
if he'd have been running at like 100 miles an hour and threw that ball before the 10-metre line backwards out of the hand, and say he threw it 11 metres out and felt caught at 9 metres out, but Townsend is now 7 or 6 metres out, that would be deemed a backward pass, even though the ball has travelled forward. If anyone is interested, guys, look up on YouTube, definition of a forward pass. There's a 3-minute clip. It'll just explain it really simply. It's not as simple as just the ball has to go backwards. If it goes backwards out of the hands, it's still considered a backward pass. And that inertia, or whatever you want to call it, momentum, if it moves it forward, so be it.
Any other refs calls? There were so many. Are we missing? We're missing.
I think I wrote a few down. So what do we got? The corner post, the felt into Peachy.
What a good night it was.
Spoke about the Cotter offside, and I mentioned the Holmes one in the second half. That's pretty much it, guys. And just another thing too. Think about this: we could have been ahead at half time, and the Cowboys were 18 of 18 sets completed. Yeah. So they've basically played perfect football, and we're better than them. We just from stupidity, lack of IQ is what cost us.
Yeah.
So I like I say, I think when we get some troops back, guys, we're a good team.
Yeah.
We're trying our hardest now, but we will be a really good team with 3/4 of our troops back.
Mate, that's the issue with backups of backups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a few arguments online. A lot of people saying the refereeing was shit, and I was saying, no, just admit it, we're shit. No,
we're not shit.
We're not shit. We're injury decimated at the moment. We've got second graders, but it doesn't mean that it's just because we made mistakes and make things harder for ourselves doesn't mean that we should be okay with wrong decisions against us. You can be angry at two things. I hate the thing that you can't worry about one thing but not the other. It's do you not? I always say just because I'm against you want to cure cancer doesn't mean we should stop trying to cure leukemia. You can worry about more than one thing. Just because, yes, we know we didn't play to the best of our ability, but doesn't mean we can't be angry at the officiating incorrect calls as well, because they change the game just as much as a drop ball can. So you can be angry at both things.
We were discussing on Twitter, we won't even mention his name. We were discussing with this Madge hater last night, we finished 9th, 11th, 13th, we're going backwards. Focus on the present. Look at how these guys are playing for each other. Look at the start of the year. Our attack absolutely sucked. Now we're doing, like we said, first half last night, we're doing block plays and making meterage at will. We scored try, not just off a block play. We actually skipped the blocker and missed the first receiver and hit the second receiver. The pass from Brooks to Garner was sublime. That was a beautifully worked play. We didn't have that, 8 weeks ago. So just see the team for what they're doing now, guys. The attack is bloody improving. And we got different personnel in different positions every week. And we're probably going to have Little and Madden in there this week. So we've got half a new spine again this week, and they're going to just expect them to function like clockwork. They're going to have 2 or 3 training sessions at best. They're going to be trying to recover, on a 5-day backup and bust their asses again against Canterbury, who've had a 7-day break. And they're just expecting us to lap them because they're coming last. Use a bit of common sense. It's not that easy, guys. It's a human combat sport, and there's personnel changes every week. You just can't expect, but we lost. We lost to Canterbury. We lost to the Cowboys. Just have a look at the game and see what they're doing. Everyone wanted us to try as hard as we could. They're ripping in every week, and they're decimated. So, I'm telling you, when we get some guys back, we will be so good. I just hope that other people don't get
competitive. Not a top force. We'll be going to each game expecting, thinking we can win. It's not like last year, towards the end of the year, it was how much are we going to lose by this game? I feel like we're in a fight.
I don't think we'd beat Penrith. I don't think we'd beat Penrith, but we would give them a freaking good shake with our best team. Seriously. And that's Penrith. That's the team. We're resilient now, guys. We've got a bit of mongrel. We got some mongrel guys. It's not.
Do we ever think about them not showing up to play footy? I don't. Every time I'm like, oh man, the boys are going to fucking rip in 100%.
We used to, but Shane.
Last year, I was like, fuck, man, what team's showing up?
Yeah, well,
that
16 thing was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen against Melbourne. That's never going to happen again, guys. And I'm actually
Charles.
surprised we haven't had an off week. Like, we literally have put our bodies on the line. I mean, they're professionals.
Well, the Sharks.
They're paid
Sharks.
to do that. Yeah, but even that could have been 60-0, Josh.
Mm.
You know, like, I know it was only 30 or whatever it was, but, you know, I don't know. But we played pretty poorly that day, and it was still only 30. So
Look, I'll be honest, that was our sort of rock bottom moment there. Like, that was definitely the rock bottom moment for the team.
Yeah.
But Rob, going back to West Tigers fans, like, look, let's be honest.
I realised that when I said it, Carla. Thanks.
What did you say?
I said
leukemia is
cancer.
cancer.
I was going to say AIDS, but I didn't want to say AIDS on air. But I have now. I couldn't. It was the first disease that came to my head.
Carla to pick that up.
But like,
thanks, Nurse Carla.
We have such a good community with the West Life fans. It's really good and refreshing to sort of have a lot of like-minded. Although there is people who disagree with what we say, which is excellent. Like, everyone has opinions, and that's good. That's what we want. A bit of debate, not arguing, debate. But I find that West Tigers fans, some of them, are some of the dumbest and hardest fans
I think
to have a
just
conversation with.
I'll go into that. I think it's every fan base. Like, I think we just...
no, we're worse.
It's just social media in general.
We're worse, man.
No,
you
we have
you look at who we're missing from our
top
team,
tier
guys.
shockers.
Guys, you look at who we're missing from our team, like fullback, 2 starting centres, a winger, and let's call Dewey our 5'8", for example. I won't even go into the forward pack. Now, let's take them out of the Cowboys right now. Let's take Drinkwater out, Kyle Felt, Valentine Holmes, Peter Hiku, Tom Dearden. Tell me what that scoreline would have been without them last night, and let them lose whatever their hooker's name is in the middle of the game as well, and one of their other halves. Like, you know, there's just some fans that only see, you either get the 2 points or you don't. And I know they're sick of the 10 years of not making finals and get all that, but you've got to just put that aside. You just can't change. You can't blame 9 years ago on last weekend's performance. You know, it's just, you just got to write off all that shit. We had to sort out our cap. We couldn't buy players that we wanted last year. We're doing pretty good with what we got now. We've got some good players coming next year. We should be excited about the rest of our performances for the rest of the year. We're building on it, and we're going to really inflict some pain on some teams later this year, I'm telling you. I've probably repeated myself 5 times, but I so believe that, guys. We've got a good team.
Rachel on Facebook summed it up pretty well. She said the way the Tigers are performing is actually united. Even though we're losing, the social media, it's definitely... I haven't seen a sacked coach. I hate Brooksy. Like, it's all been complaints about the ref and just saying, like, you get a couple of people just like I said, the we are shit comments. I reckon those people don't even watch the games. I reckon they just... And they're probably not even West Tigers fans. They're probably just trolls, fans of the team. Who knows? They've usually got a fake name. And
30 out of 36 completions isn't shit. You know, 28 to 22 tackle bust isn't shit. You know, you got some guys that, like Alex Twal, didn't miss a tackle. 39 tackles and none missed. Like, there's just... You got to start looking at... Like I said, I hate the fact that I'm normally the glass half full, half empty guy. You know, I'm seeing so many positives, and to be fair, I think if you keep seeing the negative, you can't support the Tigers. You know, because you know, I knew a couple of months ago we're going to go through this shit, and I was worried before the season started we're going to start 0-6 or 1-5 and all that sort of stuff. But you know, Jackson Hastings, like, in my wildest dreams, I did not believe what Shane said last year about how good he could be. I was like, "Love you, Shane. You're the greatest guy. You're full of fucking shit. He ain't going to be that good." You know, like, he can't be that good, because if he's that good, he'd be in the NRL. Guys, he's that fucking good. Like, he really is. He's that good. Won't go into it too deeply, but nothing is happening in terms of re-signing him at the moment. But I think it's pretty clear to see what's going on, guys. He's come out and he's batting for Madge. And I stand corrected, but I think they're under the same management team. So you can put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4 there. So hopefully Madge gets re-signed so we can get Jacko as well.
Going back, I don't think we touched on it. Mitch brought up the Mamalo whack in the face and not getting a penalty for it as well was also a joke. So he got taken off for a HIA it wasn't deemed. He literally got whacked in a poke. It was more than a poke in the eye. It was like a whack to the face. No penalty.
It was an open,
the bunker,
open palm.
like,
Yeah, I disagree with you guys. I think it was a poke in the eye. My beef is, why did he have to go off for a HIA to a poke in the eye? I disagree. I don't think it was a hit to a head. But if it was worthy of an HIA, then it should have been a penalty. But it's not a penalty, so I don't think it should have come off.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's my point.
Oh, look, he definitely got a poke in the eye, but like he gave him a good whack, but it literally was not enough to warrant the independent doctor to take him off. Like, that's just fucking stupid. When, to be honest, Felt had a worst hit and didn't get taken off. That just
And he self-inflicted that, Felt. He just
the
fell
slide into a tackle thing annoys me. When they literally fall over, someone's already going into a tackle and someone slips over and they get hit high. Like, it's not the tackler's fault. They're not aiming for their head. They were aiming for their ribs or their stomach, and the guy happens to just drop in front of them. That's something that NRL needs to. I know they're trying to get rid of head injuries every way possible, but the tackler can't help that the guy literally falls over a meter out from him.
You know who's really, really, really bad for that? Actually, two players, Tedesco and Gutherson. Them two always run. Gutho turns his back and drops down low, and Tedesco just runs and trips over and
Tedesco runs like
falls
a baby
into
giraffe.
people. Yeah,
he always Tupanua did it yesterday, guys. Tupanua did it yesterday. He got the most slightest contact up top, but it was a ball and all tackle from Dylan Brown. They're winning by 5 points, and it iced the game. They got a penalty just right of the post. They kicked the goal, 7 ahead, game over. Ruined a good game that was going to have an exciting finish. There was nothing in it, but he stayed down, and he made sure he stayed down because he knew he got touched on that face, and he was going to milk that penalty for all it was worth. So if you lay down, the bunker will help you.
I mean, Mitch just said the milking and acting is getting really bad. But at the end of the day, do you guys find yourself kind of almost frustrated? I think Junior Tupou, I'm trying to think. I mean, he got a whack to the face and basically just got up. Yeah, he just got up and played it. And in my head, I'm like, lay down, mate, lay down. Like, we needed a penalty pretty bad. We're kind of being jammed in our own half. I'm like, stay down, man. Like,
that's the other thing.
That should be called anyway. You shouldn't have to.
I know you shouldn't
milk a penalty. You should be getting hit in the head, and they go, "Oh fuck, you got hit in the head. No worries, I'll give you a penalty." Doesn't matter if he's injured or not. It's a head high tackle. Like, it's
when the bunker's got the hindsight of the video when they're checking a try, they should have known that Dearden stopped Brooksy from getting to Cotter. Okay, but like you're saying, Josh, if Brooksy plays it smart, he should have gone down.
He should have flopped. Yeah,
he should have done
the Joel Embiid flop.
He should have got that guy, and then that's a penalty to us. So, that's a bit on us as well. And it's back to IQ again. We got to play dirty like these other teams. When I say by dirty, gamesmanship, and just, if we've got to milk it, let's milk it. If they're milking it and we're going to cop it, why shouldn't we do the same thing? It's actually playing smart.
Yeah, full cream.
Full cream milk. No, we need that. We need the farmhouse gold with the big bit of cream on top of it.
Oh, I get that. I love that.
Oh, it's good. That first bit of cream.
Farmhouse Gold is listening, send us a crate of that stuff. I love that.
100%.
I make a cup of tea for my wife. It's a bit of a tangent, but I make a cup of tea for my wife. My wife doesn't really like it, and you even get the cream swirling in the tea. And she's like, "What have you put in my tea?" And I'm like, "It's cream. Like, get in here. It's good for you. Calcium, protein, good fats."
Get it in ya.
Anyway, back to rugby league. I do love milk. So a few stats, boys.
You should have went for Canberra.
Yeah, the lime milk. I actually don't mind a lime thick shake. If anyone, Donut King lime thick shake's pretty good. Just quietly. Completion rate, 30 out of 36. Yeah, not too bad, as you said earlier, Rob, but 33 out of 37. I mean, the Cowboys are just well drilled at the moment. They're just... You got to get a hand to them. They're just a surprisingly really good side.
Well, but look, as I said to a couple of people before the game, has anyone else noticed that as soon as the referees got called out
by how
we always get stitched up. Todd Payton's sitting there going, "No, small teams get stitched up. This is bullshit." Rah, rah, rah. All of a sudden, bang! What happens? They're getting every bloody call, and they're now third position. So when's Madge going to blow up? Because we need it.
Yeah,
we need it to blow
he had a little bit. He had a mini blow up.
we need a Ricky blow up. Mate. We need a Ricky blow
Jeff
up.
a Jeff Tuvey style one. Pete just
good
brought up
comments
another one.
there. Yeah.
I totally forgot about another one that I swore at the TV.
Yeah.
Over is Garner. Basically, the guy jumped into him. In my biased opinion, he jumped up. Garner stopped in his track, and he jumped forward
into him.
Went over Garner. Garner didn't chop his feet. Garner stopped to let him catch it, but he jumped into him and fell over him, and it was a penalty. Am I being biased or?
No, you're not being biased. So we've got to give the fullback now 5 fucking square meters. So he's got a landing pad. That's an absolute joke of a penalty. He had stopped and he landed into Garner. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased. I've only seen it once, but at the time I just shook my head.
We might as well bring in the fair catch rule from NFL.
Yeah, it's a joke.
So more stats. So runs, pretty similar. Run meters. Look at the Cowboys, 350 odd more. Post contact meters, pretty close.
But look, with the run meters, Josh,
line breaks,
we had one person on the bench. Our forwards were gassed.
Yeah, they were.
Of course, the run meters is going to be completely different because they're going to be running harder through our guys. Our guys were cooked, man. When they were coming off, they looked like they were going to throw up.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys thought as well, but I thought from about the 30th minute, even though we were playing well, I just thought our line speed had died. I just felt like we were tired after 30 minutes and no one was injured at that stage. So I don't know what was going on, whether it was the humidity because it had been raining all weekend and then it had stopped. I don't know, but our line speed definitely slowed down before halftime and we got punished for it.
The play the ball speed is an interesting one. So post game, I can't remember which Cowboys player it was, but he said that was a thing at halftime. They came in and said they were told the Tigers were, I can't remember what time it was, but basically they were told the Tigers are playing the ball too quick. So they needed to address that. Do you think the second half, the Cowboys, there was only one, this took so long for us to get a 6 again. Do you feel like the Cowboys were slowing us down in the ruck a lot more in the second half, Rob?
I think because of the dysfunction we had with our setup, like with the hooker and the 5'8", and everyone playing in all sorts of different positions, we didn't throw as much at the Cowboys in the second half. So therefore, they had more time to sort of their third man was out of position all the time, trying to come in over the top. We were playing that quick, and we were just too good for them. And I think the guy you're talking about there, Josh, was Scott Drinkwater, because I heard him talking to Benji tonight on the show, mentioning the play the ball speed. But I think it was just the fact that we didn't throw as much, so we were easy to contain. But boy, those block shapes we were running in the first half, we went from our own 25 to their 30, and we just looked so good, guys. We were making holes at will. And the Cowboys, to their credit, they're just a good, safe side. They didn't make a mistake. They kicked to the corners, but you look at the second half, it was 20-12 at halftime. They got to 36 with a grubber kick try where Holmes and probably Tuolagi were offside. Definitely Holmes was. The last try from Nanai was off a bomb in with a minute and a half left that was needless. And the other try in the middle was just a good try. So they really put one good try on us in 40 minutes and we were decimated. So I just think they're playing the percentage as well. And they probably knew at halftime we were in tatters and we were down to 2 men at that stage. And then obviously Musgrove comes off with a pec injury. So we're down to 1 man on the bench. We were cooked, guys. We should have lost by more, but there's just a lot of fight in these guys. But I didn't have any confidence that we were going to score, to be honest, because we just looked a bit rudderless, to be honest.
Considering 90.3% Shane, considering the bench we had, is not too bad.
Oh, that's the only reason why we didn't get blown out. Look, some might say 36.
We kind of did.
Getting beaten by 24 is blown out, but it's not for what we had. It could have been 60 or more in that second half, especially when we went to one on the bench. As Rob said, the boys were cooked from half an hour in. You could see how they were cooked. So
Yes.
I really think humidity would have had to would definitely have something to do with it. Like, have you ever trained? So like, obviously I did powerlifting for years. I did
Right.
powerlifting almost 10 years, right? I went
Flex for us.
100%. So I started powerlifting in Sydney, went to Adelaide, did powerlifting there for years, dry heat. It was easy. I went up to Queensland on a holiday, thought, I'll go to a couple of gyms. I fucking died. Proper died. And I was as fit as I ever was. I was fucked from them gyms. And it would not surprise me if the humidity proper cooked the boys yesterday. After all that rain, man, like, you can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't think. Like, it's just a whole nother level.
I've got a similar story to that. I honeymooned in Singapore, and the hotel we stayed at had an outdoor gym up the top, and there was literally signs in the gym saying like, "Be sure to hydrate." Like, don't like. And I was like, and literally, I nearly fainted. Like, just having a regular weights session, nothing overly strenuous. I literally nearly passed out because of the humidity. It does.
Singapore,
your sweat doesn't evaporate, so you also overheat.
Nah, dude, Singapore is the grossest place I've ever been to in my entire life for humidity.
Like,
I was 100
fans.
I was 110 kilos walking around Singapore, pissing sweat, running from aircon to aircon just so I could have aircon. I was like, this sucks, running to a shopping center.
Super clean though. It's
nice I got back and I lost 7 kilos just in fucking water weight.
And chili crab.
Guys, did you see Stefano cop a really big hit in his first carry of the game when he came on? Do you think he was right after that? Look, at first I thought he was going to have a HI.
I know the hit you're talking about.
He seemed rattled.
He seemed rattled, didn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, just didn't think he was.
He's still coming back from injury, I guess. But
he definitely. Look, the last couple of games, he definitely hasn't done what I sort of expected him to do. I expected him to come in and really hit the ground running. He was only off for a few weeks, and he would have trained for a few weeks. Like, he would have been on the bikes. He would have kept his fitness.
Yeah.
So, I'll be honest, I have expected more from him. But
the Cowboys didn't miss him. They put like 4 blokes into his first hit up, and they absolutely smashed him.
Hammered him. He did. The funny thing is, he didn't go backwards. That's what was wild to me.
Yeah.
He got hit and he just sort of stayed there, and I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking strong. Let's go.
Yeah.
Righto. So we'll get on to, how far are we? We're an hour and 12 minutes. So we haven't even, we'll try and do play by player.
Super quick.
Yeah.
We'll do it quick because
express
only
mode.
the ones that need talking about.
Yeah, there's a few that don't need to be bothered.
No.
So we'll go in jersey order because that's how NRL present the stats for us. So Stafford Toa, 18 runs, 134 meters, 38 post contact, 3 tackle breaks. He had 3 offloads, 4 tackles, 1 missed, and error-wise, he had 1 handling error and gave away 1 penalty. Rob, thoughts on Stafford? A couple of vital mistakes. Obviously, we already touched on
those.
Toa's toes.
I like the guy. I mean, he needs more time, but he like I've said, a couple of times tonight, he just needs to be mentored more about his role and what he needs to do. Physically, he's got the attributes. He's got really fast feet. But, as we mentioned, he's got to attack those balls on the full. He's got to take the man carrying the ball in that situation that Cotter was in. Just put your foot on the sideline, mate, and touch it with your pinky finger. That constitutes an out on the full. You don't need to.
You don't have to catch it. Yeah.
You don't need to leave it to the last minute. It's a bit sort of. It's just too casual for me. I just think you don't need to risk things like that. Play it safe. Have your foot on the sideline. If you'd have actually had a proper look, he had Junior Tupu behind him with his foot on the line, ready to touch it, and he kind of got in the way of it. But look, he's trying hard. He's good under the high ball when he attempts it. And he's not quite chiming into the back line the way we want. That's just going to take a bit of time. But look, I like the guy, and I think he's got a lot of potential. But at the moment, obviously, he's not doing the role that we want at fullback. But I feel sorry for him, man. He's in the deep end. It's his third full game there, so
yeah,
he's what it is.
Shane, anything to add on
look,
Stafford?
I agree with Rob 100%. He's definitely out of his depth. He's a centre. He played as a centre for Knights. He's playing on the wing here. But I'll be honest, like when we get a fullback in, I want to see him. I want to see him playing the centres, and I want him to stay there. I want him to play first-grade centres for a while because I really do believe he'll be good. And look, he just needs time. That's all it comes down to. He's got the energy, he's got the body, he's got the talent. He just needs to play centre. Like he's not a fullback. He needs to play centre.
Everyone healthy? Do you put him in? Who's in the centres? Him and Tommy Talau?
I'll be honest. I'd be putting Tommy in second row. Kelma out. See you later. I'll be putting. See, the thing is, we've also got Law, so it makes it hard. Yeah, look, at the moment, I'd have to say probably Stafford and Talau in the centres. Yeah. Give Ollie a bit of time, he'll come good.
I like on this year's form, it'd be Roberts for me at right centre and Toa left centre. On this year's form.
I mean, we're talking about Dane Laurie doing backflips. That's a huge backflip from last year.
It is. Yeah, I didn't even want him in the team.
Yeah, either.
Roberts played great this year, guys.
I don't think anyone. Yeah.
Oh, he's been incredible.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. Old back's done.
Yeah.
Luke Garner again playing centre and played pretty bloody well considering it's not his position. Again, 11 runs, 88 metres, 30 post contact, couple of tackle breaks, couple of offloads, 19 tackles, none missed, which is pretty damn good for a centre. One handling error and one penalty given away. Thoughts on LG? Whose turn is it? Shane?
I'm loving him more and more as a centre, to be honest.
Yeah.
As Rob said a few times, look, he just doesn't have that lateral speed that we need. But man, like, just some of the stuff he's done. I'm in awe of him, to be honest. Like, I wish we weren't getting rid of him. Like, he's been amazing playing out of position, and his defense has been excellent. He's definitely shored up that side defensively. But, mate, he's making good runs. The try he scored was fucking mad. And, mate, I'll be honest, like, I wasn't a big fan of him after last year. He was our starting second rower, and I thought he was a bit meh. The year before, I really liked him. But no, look, I'm impressed. And his play the ball speed was ridiculous. 2.67 seconds. Like, that's dumb. Like, that is dumb. Rob, what do you reckon?
Yeah, he's a trombone in the string section, guys. But he's playing off his favour. He really is. Like, I mean, I have to keep mentioning that lateral speed, guys, because, Holmes showed him up a couple of times, and it's not his fault. It's just, one time it was his fault, and then one time Junior Tupu kind of didn't trust him and left Tuolagi unmarked because he knew that Holmes could blitz him for speed. So he's doing an amazing job. Like, I'm just being hypercritical, but he's just. I'd love to see him in the second row, guys. I'd love to see him take Kelmer's spot when we get some centres back. Because I think now the Luke Garner we're seeing in centre with the confidence, with the tackling, with the running, he'd be a beast in the second row. So, if we had all our troops back, I'd love to see him get a crack there. And I'm really sad he's leaving us. He's a very likable guy, but he's doing an admirable job. But probably just missing out on my points this week. But he would have been fourth best for me.
The try he scored, I mean, the play was that good. Just about anyone could have scored that try.
Yeah.
went in untouched. But man, that play was beautiful to watch. That was one of the crispest backline moves I've seen the West Tigers do for quite some
Poetry
time.
in motion.
That pass by Brooksy, I was at half mast after that one.
Like a few of those moves, guys, were really classy. There was one earlier in the first half where Jacko was first receiver on the right side of the ruck, and before the ball played, he just switched to the left, and he got the ball and he did the out the back play, and we made 30 meters. Like the attack is being worked on, but it's just hard to get that cohesion. Like it's going to be hard this week with Brooksy not there because Madden's just going to have to be that guy if Madden is the one that's chosen to take his spot. But yeah, that backline move, we created a two-man overlap. Like Garner had Tupu outside him as well, so beautifully designed play. Well done to the coaching staff.
Kenny Mamalo. So Kenny, he had 16 runs, 148 meters, which I think, is the most in the team. Yep. Jackson Hastings second. Again, run meters. That's crazy. 62. Is that post contact? Yeah, 62 post contact. Wow. Only Twally was better than that. 2 tackle breaks. And 2 tackles made, 1 missed, and error-wise, no errors. And he missed 13 minutes of the game. So not a bad workload for Kem there, Shane.
Oh mate, this is what we said we missed from him. It's running back. Like he had 61 kick return meters, 148 run meters, and 16 carries. Like he's just putting in an absolute shift, and I love it. That's what we want to see from him, and like that's what we have missed the last couple of weeks. If we had him, because he was injured both weeks, he got taken off both weeks, both the last 2 games, and as soon as he was off, we just lost that drive out of the back. And man, I love him. I love him.
I love him. What about him? Get him up here. Rob?
Yeah, look, nothing to add other than that. Just a shame that him and Kyle Felt were on each other because they're probably the best 2 aerial guys, on the field. So they nullified each other. But hopefully, if Ockenbaugh's picked for Canterbury this week on the right wing, Kenny could get a couple of tries with some well-placed kicks.
So we'll move on. We'll try and get through these. We'll try and get under 2 hours again this week.
We'll see how we
go. I think that every week, and then we don't. So poor old Brooksy obviously did his hamstring. Does anyone remember the point? Because he obviously didn't come out in the second half. Did anyone notice? It was a massive shock to me seeing it on the TV. Did you guys notice anything in the first half with him?
It had to be that chase on Ruben Cotter, guys. That has to be the moment that he felt a tweak in it. I don't see any other moment there because that happened about 2 minutes before halftime. There was really not much play after that, and there was no break from the kickoff or anything like that, and he never came back out. So he definitely must have felt a twinge, in that chase.
Yeah, it was. Man, it sucks. He's literally in his career form.
Yeah,
and goes down the hamstring. We just can't take a fucking break this year. It's unbelievable. We've stepped on a black cat, or walked under a ladder or something somewhere. Brooksy, 5 runs for 25 meters, and he had a line break assist, try assist, obviously the absolute pillar of a pass. He had 15 tackles, only 2 missed, which is pretty good for a 5'8". He's kicking 6 kicks for 213 meters. I thought his kicking game was pretty good. As well, he found the grass a fair bit and 1 handling error. And obviously, he played bang on 40 minutes. Rob, I'll let you go first with Brooksy. Man, he was looking good the first half.
He played great, except for that error in the red zone in the 5th minute. He did everything, pretty much right. Even I think he actually had one sort of wonky kick that looked really bad, and it even took like just 2 fantastic bounces towards the try line. So even his bad kick was good. That pass you mentioned earlier to Garner was beautiful. Him and Hastings just combined so well with those backline block plays, and we were just making meters, as I've said, at will. So other than that error in the 5th minute, he played great, and I think he would have run down Cotter if Dearden doesn't stick his arm out. So yeah, pity he got injured, and hopefully he's not out for too long.
Shane?
Yeah, look, man, I can't fault him. I can't fault him the last five weeks. Been playing incredibly. I think that shift from halfback to 5'8" has just completely revitalised him. He's just a completely new player, and it's showing him with that little switch-up play that he did with Hastings to put Garner over. Like, that was wild. Like, that was so good, and I absolutely loved it. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him. So,
yeah,
I didn't think I'd be saying that this year, but we're definitely going to miss him. So,
yep, I agree.
It's not good.
On to our Lord and Saviour, Jackson Hastings, obviously playing the halfback. Again, 23 runs for 141 metres. He's a halfback, 141 metres. 16 post contacts, try assists, tackle break. He had 1 offload. What's his receipts this week? Only 88 receipts from Jacko this week, down from his usual 90 to 100. 9 tackles, none missed. 18 kicks for 409 metres, and 0 errors from Jackson. Shane, hard to fault Jacko this week, and in both effort and execution.
Oh, mate, week in, week out, he's best on ground. It's just that simple. He's literally best on ground, and I'm talking either team. I don't give a fuck who we play. What I see him do, I'm just like, holy shit! Like, he's just on another level. We don't have the troops to back it up at the moment. That's all it comes down to. And every game we've played, he's been the best half on ground by a long shot. And he's kicking. We've finally got someone who can kick goals, and he put him from the sideline, literally over the dot.
Unbelievable. Just like straight as a die. Unbelievable. Like,
some of the best kicks I've
couldn't
seen.
hit
Like,
couldn't hit it any sweeter. They look like it didn't. The ball didn't move in the air. It just like cut straight through the middle of the post from the sideline. Insane.
You knew it was going. Like, it literally left his boot, and you knew it was going straight over the dot, which is a nice change. Usually, we're watching balls hook left and right, and we're like, "Oh, I don't know if this one's getting it." But no, look, it's like he literally puts in 110% for the whole 80. The whole 80. And he's literally the difference. He's the difference in this team, attitude, everything, and he's leading by example. And we're getting a few of the other boys really, really show up. And I do believe it's because of Jacko. Like, I reckon I wouldn't have said it, but Joffa, mate, I reckon because of Hastings and how Hastings is carrying himself, I think we're getting another leader there that we haven't had. Just like Brooksy's gone a bit quiet, which is probably better for our team. But mate, like, again, 141 meters, 23 runs, 88 receipts. Like, yeah, it's not as much as before, but like, and he's the best player we've got at the moment. Like, he's just absolutely incredible.
Greg on Facebook, we talked about it earlier, Bob, but him and Adam in the halves are going to be something pretty special, I think. As good as Brooksy's playing, but seeing him and Adam together, can't wait to see that.
Yeah, like Luke said, it's the alpha pairing. Look, what more superlatives can you say about him? I agree with Shane, not just best for our team, but best on ground. I think the one thing that I haven't used to describe him or just explain how good he is, I always say that great players seem to have extra time. Other than him getting death threats to his sisters, which was terrible, while he was on the sideline, I haven't seen a bloke that's got so much composure. He's just as cool as a cucumber, guiding the troops around the park. He when he puts his kicks or does his passes, just his attention to detail, everything's just easy. It just looks easy when you watch him, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know what? If I had 28-year-old legs or 26-year-old legs, I could do the same thing. He just makes the game look so easy. The vision for that cross kick and to try and do it while you're 18 points down. They're only little things, but the guy's still trying to win the game, no matter what part of the game it is, or no matter what the scoreline is. He's tackling, he's running. I can't go any further, guys. I just can't believe he's this good. And, to be hypercritical, if I had to pick on something, I just think it's silly when any halfback kicks to the best catcher in the team. So I would have liked to have seen Bombs not kick to Kyle Felt. I think he only did one of those. There was maybe one other bad red zone kick, but the guy can't do everything perfectly. Like, he's got to have a mistake or two in his game, but he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, man, and he's been a godsend. And I hope we have him for many years to come, because he's a pleasure to watch, and he's just as good off the field as he is on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. On to Jimmy Talmau. So Jimmy's stats, he had 12 runs for 75 meters, 29 post contact, 3 tackle breaks, 12 hit ups, 2 offloads, tackles 25 and none missed. And error-wise, just 1 penalty given away, and he played 27 plus 19 equals 45 minutes. 45 minutes. God. Thoughts on Jimmy Talmau, Shane?
Mate, he's just backing up game after game. He's running really hard, tackling harder. When he's on, he just seems to be in every tackle. He just seems to be everywhere, and it's wild to watch. It's good. I'm loving it. His play the ball speed was absolutely lightning. He just doesn't drop. He doesn't drop down. He literally is always standing up and just plays the ball. His play the ball speed was 1.92 seconds. So in the tackle, getting called held, 1.92 seconds he's playing the ball. Our next closest is almost 2.5 seconds, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's about just under 2.5 seconds is our next fastest play the ball speed. So, that's what we need from our props, to get that quick play the ball speed, because it really it just keeps setting up that roll-on effect that we're getting. And it's because of these props we're getting that roll-on effect. Like, we're coming up to Zane soon, but he's in the 2s as well for play the ball speed. So we got 2 big props who are taking hit-ups and playing the ball quick, which is what we need. So, and our forward pack, I love them. We have a forward pack that can go toe-to-toe with pretty much any team. And they have a big forward pack, Queensland. And I'm telling you, we will go on toe-to-toe with them. We were just tired. We got tired out. They play in the most humid conditions in Australia, pretty much. They train and live in that stuff. So this was nothing to them. This was training. We don't do that sort of stuff. So, look, I'm so proud of our boys being down to 1 on the bench and them just putting in a shift. They just kept going to work, and I love it. All of our forwards, just absolutely stoked with how they're playing this year, because we haven't, again, I keep saying we haven't had this, but we haven't had a forward pack that plays like this in ages. We've always had soft forwards or small forwards or forwards who didn't run. There's just heaps of issues that we've had before with forwards. And, Jimmy's playing some really, really good. And, look, I'm stoked because it's sort of rubbing off on everyone.
Anything to add, Rob?
It's funny. Those stats are fantastic. The stats look really good. On the eye, guys, I didn't notice him as much. I thought it was just it wasn't a bad game, but I just thought it was a quiet game. I really didn't notice him in the thick of the action. But I tell you what I did notice, he He got into it in the press conference a bit after the game. And I tell you what, guys, every time Jimmy Tarmo goes hard in a press conference, his next game is a blinder. So I'm expecting, even on the short backup, I'm expecting Tarmo to absolutely have a big game Friday night at Leichhardt. But yeah, nothing more to add, mate. His stats are sensational. Good figures for 45 minutes.
Poor old Jakey Simpkin. So he lasted 27 minutes and then had to go off injured. Obviously, in that time, he had one run for 11 meters, one post-contact meter. From that, statistically, it's not even really worth going through. What he did: 18 tackles, one missed, and just
gave one penalty.
One penalty given away. Yeah. Rob, man, he's a big loss for us. Assuming he's obviously not playing this week. Jacob Little will probably come back in, but he was starting to find his feet, Jakey Simpkin.
Yeah, the only thing worse than not having Jake Simpkin there at all is having Jake Simpkin start and then get taken off halfway through the game because we didn't have a hooker on the bench. So you're better off not being there from the start. Yeah, the one time that we don't have Little on the bench. But look, his service from dummy half was okay. Got his head in a bit of an awkward position there. I think Shane's got a bit more on to say about what Drinkwater was doing there in the tackle, which I thought was a stretch, but I hear you. But it's just unfortunate. The game was pretty much over, guys, I thought, when he came off. Because even if Peachy had gone to dummy half, we would have had Pauger at centre, and Pauger missed a few tackles, and he's just not I don't think he's an NRL centre, to be honest. So we're always going to push shit uphill once Jakey came off.
Shane, walk us through what you thought about that tackle.
Well, when I played footy, and I played footy for quite a few years, I was a winger, right? So I wasn't that big.
What? You're a winger?
Yeah, I was a winger, right? So I was about 70 kilos in school, 75 kilos. Slowly worked my way in when I slowly got bigger. Ended up playing second row. So I literally went right wing, right centre, right second row. And I just sort of shifted my way in. But I, as well as quite a few other boys, as soon as you saw someone going in for a tackle low like that, I'd shift my hip so they hit the outside of my hip because it doesn't hurt me and it really, really hurts them. And it's a way to, one, protect yourself, so I can understand why he did it, but also, like, you can send people off doing that. And there's plenty of times where I was running down the sideline, I had someone coming in, you'd watch them go low, and I'd shift into them and just shift my hip across. And, like, people were getting carried off the field because they literally headbutt my hip. And I was fucking quick when I was young. I don't have the legs on me anymore. But, man, I was running full speed and I'd do it. And I'd shift my hip that way so I know it's going to hit them. And I know that's dirty, but it's better than getting tackled the way I was going to get tackled. So I did it. When I saw it, the way he sort of shifted his hips, I was just like, oh, fuck, I used to do that. and I knew what I was doing it for. One, to protect myself, but one, to put a bit of hurt on. Because when your head connects to that part of your hip, it ain't good. I've had it happen to me, and yeah, like I was pretty pissed off when I saw it because I knew I sort of was like, oh, okay. Like, I did that sort of shit. But I was also skinny going up against 100 kilo Islanders, and I was a 70 kilo little winger. So I sort of did what I could do. But when I saw it, I wasn't stoked. I said it to you guys. I'm like, yep, I'm not too happy about that. But hey, look, you got to sort of do what you do when you're a smaller bloke. When you got someone coming in to tackle you hard and you're a small bloke, do what you do to save yourself, really. And look, now I'm thinking about it. I understand why Drinkwater did it because he was saving himself. And unfortunately, Jake literally headbutted his hip full tilt. So look, there's not much you can do about it.
Nice one, Greg.
Yeah, it's true. But
not the hip thing to do for those.
Right up my alley, that joke, Greg.
Good dad joke.
Yeah,
Zane Musgrove, 20. He had 8 runs, 92 meters. 36 post contact and tackling. Zane had 25 and 2 missed, and error wise 1 error, no penalties this week. Thoughts on Zane Musgrove in this game, Rob? His minutes, Zane. So his stints were 19 and 26, which would make pretty much 46 minutes.
Yeah, look, obviously he dropped that bomb, which he really shouldn't have had to catch, and he was a little bit unlucky there because might have been Cotter, but one of the Cowboys players just jumped up with a fist in front of him to sort of try and throw him off. Look, on the eye, guys, I thought Musgrove was heading for like a man of the match performance. He was running with such intent, and the tackles he was doing, I know those numbers don't look big, 8 runs for 90-odd metres, but he was having a red-hot crack, and I was really impressed with him. Don't know how bad that injury is, but yeah, it's just a pity he came off shortly after half-time because I actually thought he was absolutely killing it, and at the time was our best forward.
Shane, would you agree with that?
100%. He was running so hard, making big tackles, and look, I just love this forward pack. Like, it's going to be hard for Steph to get back his starting spot because I'll be 100% honest. Like, I wasn't that happy with Zane the last few years. He's been quite injured. And then when he does come back, he's such a big boy. He was running it really soft, but the intent is there, and I just want to see him keep playing how he's playing. Like the whole team, I just want the whole team to keep playing how they're playing because we're seeing so much guts that these guys just haven't shown before. And mate, he's a big boy. He's just gonna smash people, and that's all I want him to do. Just fucking smash people.
Yeah, he was definitely. He definitely had. You could see the intention pretty early from Zane. He was out to kill someone. One man that didn't have the fight in him, it seemed, was Kelma. So just 3 runs, minute wise. Kelma played all but 6 minutes. 3 runs, 25 meters, 15 post contact, 1 tackle break. He did make. Wow, I didn't notice this. 43 tackles.
Yeah,
Kind of take that back. 43 tackles, only 1 miss. So defensively, pretty damn good looking on that. But obviously, it was put on a report literally after the full-time siren went. So a bit of a dumb play from there. Thoughts on Kelma, Rob?
Yeah, look, those stats absolutely shocked me. I actually thought he was one of our worst players, but how do you fault 40-odd tackles and 1 miss? I mean, the 1 missed tackle was the one that led to the Ruben Cotter try. So that was straight up the middle. That was a poor miss, like 2-on-2. He kind of put Musgrove in a bit of a predicament there. Didn't get involved enough for me in attack, but wasn't happy with that dog shot on full time. I just think that's just uncalled for. But I don't think he's been going well the last 3 weeks. But gee, when you tell me he's made 40-odd tackles and only that one that I can remember missed, that's actually a pretty decent game. But I remember watching it and thinking at full time, mate, if you want to go to Manly now, be my guest. I just wasn't happy with him.
Shane, thoughts on Kelma? You're obviously were a huge fan of his coming through, and similar to Rachel in the Facebook comment, you've gone cold on Kelma.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as interested. He really doesn't. He just does not seem interested. He doesn't seem to have that same morale all the other boys have. I don't know. I really do think as soon as we get some centres back, Garner has to take his spot. Has to. There's no ends, ifs, or buts. He has to be that second row. I just think, look, it says probably didn't have the energy with so many tackles. He only ran the ball 3 times. Like, running the ball 3 times, that's ridiculous. Like, that is actually, like, that is wild to me. For someone who's played pretty much the whole game, to run the ball 3 times, is just next level. When you're a second rower, like get involved with attack, because you are an attacking forward. It's the whole point of your role. Like, I don't know. To be honest, him and Luch, to me, were dead quiet this game. Absolutely dead quiet this game. I was really, really disappointed in both of them attacking wise. I was just I don't know. I've gone cold as well. But as I said to you a few weeks ago, like I think we're slowly going to see this from him. And look, I think he'll have random games where he plays really good, but I think he will be average. Like, and we can't have average. We need above average, and we need people like Papali'i, who's coming in, who just no matter what is playing 110%. I mean, that is what this team needs. We don't have, especially now, we don't have the cattle for him to start relaxing on attack when that's what we need the most. So that's just my 2 cents.
Well, that's why you're here, to give opinions.
Some good comments there, guys. Do you reckon Kelmer would go okay in the centres? I mean, he's probably a bit more mobile than Luke Garner. Wouldn't be the worst thing if his work rate's not that great. Like
I'll pick him over Kepaoa. Yeah, you could just do a switch between him and Garner. Straight up swap, maybe.
Yeah.
Righto, Luciano Leilua. So Luch, 9 runs for 83 meters, 55 post contact, 1 tackle break. He had 23 tackles, 3 missed, and no errors from 80 minutes from Luch. Thoughts on Luch in this game, Rob?
Yeah, agree with what Shane said. Didn't have a bad game. It was just quiet by his really high standards. But there's some stats that I don't know how you find them out or anything like that. But the Garner try we're talking about, he ran a beautiful block, and he made sure he didn't take a Cowboys player out. So there's things that don't get put in the stats there that, go unnoticed. But look, by his games this year, it was one of his quieter games, but he didn't do anything wrong. Just wasn't a game designed for him, I think. There was one time I think he was looking for a kick from Brooksy to the in goal, and then Brooksy didn't really notice it. I think a try was on, and then Brooksy passed it to Jacko, and then Jacko got a repeat set from his grubber kick. But if you'd have seen Luch running through, I think Luch might have had a try sort of 15 minutes into the game there.
Shane?
I said it before, just a quiet game, but it's for both of them. Your second rowers, you want them to start hitting holes. I understand, like, you got to be fed into a hole, but even just take the ball for a hit up. Like, just, I don't know, like 9 runs, 83 meters. Like, 83 meters isn't that bad, but like
they're down for Luch though, Shane. They're down for Luch.
He's only 100%.
He's only cracking 100. He's only cracking 100 meters every week.
Yeah, and he's doing at least 12 runs and a few hit ups. Like, he's usually a lot. He usually puts out another 25% on what he's doing there. And we needed that 25% last night. We really needed that 25%, losing our spine.
But we're getting probably more backline movements in the first half than what we were in the second half, because we got safe after 5-8. You know what I mean? So normally he's getting it 2 and 3 passes off the ruck. So I just don't think the second half was designed for him, and maybe that's why his numbers look a bit down. But definitely quite a game for him.
On to Joe Offen Gowie Joffa, the Iron Man that he is. 8 runs, 56 meters, 19 post contact, 2 tackle breaks, 6 hit ups. Tackle wise, 29 and 2. A little bit down in the numbers this week, Joffa. But he only played 45 minutes. Why did Joffa come off? Was it because of a reshuffle? Why has he got? Why did he go off after 33 minutes?
Why are these minutes so down when we had basically 14 players? I'm not
understanding. He went off after
this.
33 minutes. Why did he? Why did Joffa go off? Shane, do you remember?
I can't remember.
Just might have been part of the rotation that he came off.
Yeah, it was in the first half, so
it was before anyone got injured.
Yeah, that's why his numbers are down. He only played 45 minutes, which is
a bit weird.
Yeah, he's usually been playing 60 to 65 minutes. So
yeah.
Look, when he was on, he was in every tackle. And I remember, I especially remember Tomalolo running straight at him, and he just went toe to toe with him and dragged him down. And I was just like, yes, 13 against 13. And he stood his ground. And man, Tomalolo made him look small, and he's a big fella. Joe's a big fella, and Tomalolo made him look small, and he brought him down. So now I was stoked. Look, he's been playing. He's been putting his money where his mouth is and walking the walk, not just talking the talk. So I'm stoked with Joffa. Numbers are down, but minutes are down, so you can't really minute-wise, he's done really well.
Rob, anything to add on Joffa?
Just his first 30 minutes, I thought was outstanding. I actually have him in my points this week because he really impressed me from what I saw. What I did notice, guys, I don't know if you guys noticed it on watching the game, when we scored those 2 tries, like you had a lot of guys in that leadership group in the huddle after a try getting their instructions. The bloke that was doing all the talking was Joffa. Joffa is actually like the leader while Hastings is taking the goal kick. So he's definitely not just talking the talk, in press conferences after the game, guys. I think he's really an unofficial vice captain of the team at the moment. So loving what he's doing. He's playing with heart, and he's playing, as hard as he can, and that's all you can ask for. So yeah, he's been really good.
Moving on to Tyrone Peachy. Peachy obviously played in the centres, so he played all but about a minute and 50 seconds. For some reason, does anyone know why that minute 50 is missing for Peach? HIA? Something?
No idea.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
All I know is he switched out with when Simkin went off, and he was playing dummy half for the rest of the game after 27 minutes.
6 runs, 58 meters, 12 post contact, 20 tackles, four missed for Peach out of 20, which isn't great. Gave away a penalty as well. Who wants to tackle the Peach first?
He gave away a penalty because he allegedly attacked Felt's head with his stomach.
Yeah.
So I take that penalty off him. Look, the numbers aren't good, guys, but I thought he really had a crack. He was playing a lot of different positions the other night, so he was a bit of an everywhere man, and like he missed 4 tackles, but I think that we've got a few culprits that missed 2 and 3 tackles there. So look, overall, considered he had to go back and forth a little bit. I think he went all right. But yeah, I think he'll be in the team for the next few weeks. I can't see him being left out, especially if we got problems at hooker. So he'll probably be our number 14 at a minimum.
Anything to add, Shane?
Gosh.
Oh, look, I thought he played really well. I laughed when Kyle Felt fell into his stomach, and they just the way he reacted, the way he reacted. They were like, "Oh, head high," and he's just like, "What?" And he goes, "On who?" And he goes, "You." And he goes, "Oh, fuck off," and just walked away. I lost it. I was just like, "Fuck."
Hey Shane, it reminded me of Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop when he got thrown out of a car and he got booked for jaywalking. Like it was just that sort of reaction. I got fucking thrown out of a car.
He's thrown out of a window into me. What the fuck? Like he's losing his shit. I loved it. I was just like, yeah, fucking get into him because that's absolute bullshit. Yeah. It cracked me up, but he was
rubbish penalty.
Look, he played a good game. Getting shifted around everywhere. Like he was playing in the halves for a little bit. Then he was playing dummy half. And then he was in the centers defending. And then he was, the fucking bloke was everywhere. So I thought he had a good one.
Alex Twal, 60 minutes from Twally. He came off with 20 minutes to go. 13 runs, 118 meters, 63 post contact, which was the most in the team. No tries, unfortunately. Aaron's prediction didn't come true. No first meat pie at Magic Round, but 39 tackles, none missed, and one error from Twally. Obviously, that was Luke Brooks trying to put him through a hole to score a try, but yeah, he obviously coughed it up. But man, that workload, 39 tackles in 60 minutes, none missed. Typical Twally, Rob.
Yeah, 4 words only, Josh. Standard Alex Twal game. Just that's it. He's just a good player. He's in my points this week too. Nothing to add.
Shane?
Oh, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. His attack, that's one thing that I'm really going to say. His attack has become something else. And I didn't think I'd be saying it. I called him and Eisenhuth were the Slug Brothers. Because when they came on, they were the slowest forwards I've ever seen in my entire life. And that was last year. Was it last year or the year before? They'd come on and me and my mate Oscar would just laugh and just yell Slug Brothers. Straight up, he is running so quick, so hard, and he's actually running hard into tackles, whereas usually he'll slow him down. His attack has just been so much better this year, and this is what I've always wanted to see. His defense has never been questionable. You can't question it when he's got 99.2% tackle efficiency. You can't say that he can't defend. His attack has always been pretty average, and by average, I mean pretty poor. His attack this year, like I can see him scoring a try with how hard he runs now. Whereas last year, I would have been like, I will never see him score a try. I can see him bursting through and scoring a try. Like, yeah, he's been playing great. His attack is excellent.
Sorry, just a couple of people asking about who the signing was. Obviously, we talked about the top of the show. It was Angus Crichton. It was a couple of different guys, but Angus Crichton contacted Madge for a meeting. So you'll have to download the show or rewind back to the start and watch from the start. Yeah, we're talking about that. But fingers crossed. Yeah, that comes to fruition. We're keeping poor Shane's
Shane
the tools.
You know when you end the show when Shane starts yawning.
I am so tired. I'm like going to put toothpicks under my eyelids to keep them open soon.
Hashtag marketing.
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours was never going to be.
I love it.
It was too much to talk about, boys.
As soon as it gets past 10 o'clock, I'm just like, I start squinting.
How many guys have we got left to go through?
Seyfarth, Steph, and Junior.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, 2 juniors. We've got 2 juniors. Seyfarth, 24 run meters, 4 runs, 1 tackle break, 23 tackles, 1 miss, 2 penalties given away, 41, pretty much 42 minutes. Anything for Big Red, Shane?
Oh, look, he always puts in his all every time. I think the biggest issue. I need the glasses. I'll put the glasses on and mute my mic.
And
have a bit of a snore. Look, Seyfarth, I love him. I really do think he's definitely a good asset. He's sort of getting the shit end of the stick at the moment. He just gets put where we need him. And that's all it comes down to. I love seeing him in the second row. And to be honest, last year when he was playing lock, I thought he's probably one of the best guys we've had play lock in quite a while. But yeah, getting shifted into the halves, like he ain't a 5'8", and he was playing 5'8" for a bit. He was sort of like shifting over. Like, look, man, props. The bloke can do anything, and look, he's plugging holes at the moment like the rest of them, and he's doing his job every time he's getting on there. So that's all I can ask for. Give 100%.
Anything to add before we go on to Steph, Rob?
Yeah, I just think like it's a compliment. It's not a criticism, but he's a cross between the Energizer Bunny and like a headless chook. Like he just goes at 100 miles an hour.
The headless
You
runner.
know, like he just wherever he is, he's just like ripping in, and then if he gets pulled for a penalty, he's like he turns around like in shock, like what just happened. You know, like he's just so into it and he's so intense and he's just giving it everything. So look, you know, it doesn't look pretty, but he's really ripping in, and you know, he's someone that adds value to your squad. You need guys like him.
Right, Big Steph, 10 runs, 91 meters, 33 post contact. Tackle wise, 23 and 1, and minute wise, his stints 28 minutes and 13 minutes. That would make 40, pretty much 42 minutes there for Steph. Rob, thoughts on Steph in this one?
Yeah, like Shane said earlier, he just hasn't come back as himself. I'm not saying he's playing badly, but he just hasn't got that wow factor that he had earlier. So I don't know. We'll have to rev him up or psych him up or, tell him some porkies or something to wind him up. He just, hopefully he'll have a big one Friday night. But maybe that big hit at the start of the game had more impact than we realised. I don't know. But I might send him a note and tell him that CPJ is going to own him like a bitch or something on Friday night just to psych him up. just need to fire him up.
Moving on, I'm trying to bring up an image for Junior Pauga, but
Shane, you got anything on Steph?
No, sorry, Shane.
Look, we spoke about it before.
Yeah,
just a bit flat. I want to say a bit more. I expect more. I think that's what it is. I do expect more.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Just my expectations are very, very high of him. So,
but we're not worried. He'll come good.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not worried. Look, he's come back from an injury. That first hit probably rocked him because it hit him hard. So,
Junior Pauga on his West Tigers debut, 10 runs, 99 meters, 47 post contact, 3 tackle breaks, 15 tackles, 3 missed.
Pauga or Tupu?
No, Pauga's played. Pauga's played for us before. He played last year. Played a couple of games last year.
Oh, did he? My bad.
Yeah.
Obviously thinking of the other junior. Errors, 1 error, 1 penalty, 12 minutes and 52, so 64 minutes from junior. Obviously came in pretty early through HIA. Thoughts on Pauga, Shane?
I'll be 100% honest. He did better than I expected. His post-contact meters were great. I was really worried with him coming in. I watched the game last week where he played. He actually played on the same side as Junior Tupou, and there's his passing, his hands were really bad. But look, I'll admit, he sort of got thrown in the deep end this week and he swam. Like 99 run meters and 47 post-contact. Almost half of his meters were post-contact, which is awesome. He runs it hard. I got no issues with that. But, yeah, I was just worried about his hands. And, again, like he only had 15 tackles, but he missed 3. So, look, if you're only doing a few tackles, you've got to sort of try not to miss that many, because we've got other boys in the squad pushing high 20s into the 30s and not missing tackles or missing 1. So that's a big part of being a centre. You sort of have to really make them tackles, and yeah, 3 is not that good. So
anything to add, Rob?
Yeah, I think his defence isn't up to it, guys. He's trying hard. Like he tried hard. There's no doubt about it. I don't know if the stats include ineffective tackles, but like Peter Hiku dragged him 6 or 7 meters over the line to score the try, and like he was there the whole time. To refresh your memory, Josh, he's the bloke that scored the try last year when Kenny took that mad catch off the bomb and then passed the ball in one motion, and scored. Yeah, if you remember who that was, he played in the centres that day. But I think if Madge had faith in him, he would have started him, to be honest, because Peachy would have been best served staying on the bench, giving Jake Simpkin a rest if he needed it during the game. But I don't think he was going to get a run if there wasn't an injury. So Look, apparently, according to what Madge said, he thinks we're going to get Noffa back. He thinks we're going to get Kapoa back this week. So I don't think we'll see Pauga unless we're in this sort of dilemma again in terms of troops.
My guy I would like to see back this week is the other junior Tupou. So in his debut, 8 runs, obviously scored a great try on debut. 106 meters, 21 post contact, six tackle breaks. Jesus. Obviously, way more. The next highest was only Stafford had 3, and Jimmy had 3, and the other junior had 3. He had 6. Tackle wise, 4 and 1 missed. One handling error from 80 minutes. Shane, I'm pretty excited about this kid. I mean, yeah, pretty hell of a debut for him.
Oh, 100%. Like, his footwork was incredible. Like, the way he just moves, like, we were talking about it. It's just like a young Benji. Like, the way he moves and the way he hits the line. I understand why we tried so hard to sign him back from rugby union. Like, watching that game, he's very young. He's very green. But, man, I can see some, like, he's going to be our strike centre in the future, 100%. 100%.
Rob?
Yeah, he's got to stay in first grade, guys. And like Shane said, hopefully as a centre. And I'd be willing to cop some errors from him or mistakes or even losing games in terms of his development. Because, if we're going to buy these guys and they're that talented, what are we waiting for? Like, why did he have to be the 29th man or whatever it is called up to first grade? The guy took a magnificent aerial leap. Makes you wonder, like, why, when we put the bomb up earlier, why he wasn't there to try and catch that one too. The only thing I'll reserve judgment on is I think the 3 of us went ape shit last year after Zach Seeney's first game. Now, I know he's a different body shape to Zach Seeney, but Zach Seeney had a blinder, and then the next time he had an absolute shocker. I don't think we're going to get this with Junior Tupou. I think he's a real deal. But yeah, you just got to be careful. Don't want to put too many wraps on him. And, let's remember that bomb was uncontested too, even though he flew magnificently through the air. So, look, love what I saw. And I think, if we can get him in the centres, it'd be great. If we decide to play him on the wing, then we just got to find another spot for Noffa, makeshift-wise, put him in the centres, run him at fullback, do something. But Noffa's, like, run meters out of our back end are too valuable not to have him there. But in terms of having a tall winger on the wing, we've got 2 bookends now if we run with Kenny and with Junior.
Yeah. Brock and YouTube comments suggesting he plays fullback. I wouldn't do that to him in his second game playing against Bulldogs half. Brain melt. I'm getting tired too. What's his name? Matt Burton, putting those bombs up at him.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty unfair on him. I think I'd love to see him on the wing or centre though.
It's not the bombs. You need the fullback to have the hands to work those block plays. You need a guy.
This year he's been playing fullback predominantly for Magpies. He has been playing a lot.
He could go there and go back into the centres.
That's what I was thinking. It probably would be a good idea to try him because he's been playing fullback for pretty much every game.
Yeah.
In Magpies.
Very impressive, guys. He was really good.
And his kick returns would be wild. It'd be like Ponga. When Ponga gets those steps, he'll do exactly the same thing. He would have forwards running at him, and he would step 4 forwards and just make another 20 meters.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be able to grab him.
So you will put him at the 1? You give him a crack at the 1?
I'd give him a go. Yes, but like Stafford Toa he's just struggling. Like he's a center. Like I understand Junior's a center as well, but Junior has been playing fullback for the Magpies. So I'd put him in there and shift Stafford to probably center. And it's hard. Would you keep Garner in center, or would you?
Until we get another centre back, yes. I think that would fix a lot of problems.
Yeah,
you fix both centre positions to a degree, and then you got a bit of a threat at fullback.
That's it.
It could work. It could work, but Madge knows him better than we do. I don't know, but I think he's there to stay, guys. And really, Noffa's predominantly a winger. Like I don't think really Noffa should play anywhere else, but
Yeah,
he has
we've tried
filled
him
in
at fullback.
He has been tried before at fullback.
Righto, 3, 2, 1, boys. What are we thinking? Shane, I'll let you go first so we can get you to bed.
Okay, my 3 is for Jacko. Just puts in 100%. His kicking was incredible. His footy smarts is just wild. The kick to the right, the tap back, and then kick over to the left on literally, it's like he had eyes on the back of his head. So my 3 definitely goes to Jacko. My 2 to Joffa, just because when he was on, he was just hackling everywhere. Like I thought he played really good that first stint. I noticed him on the field more than anybody else, like especially defense wise. And I got to give 1 to Tupou because to come in and play how he did on your debut, score a try. He was great. He was really good. But I could have put Twal there as well. I could have put Twal there. Twal, Kenny, even Brooksy. Like, let's be honest, Brooks played out of his skin. Zane, like all those boys, Jimmy Tamo, all of them. Like, it's really hard to split that one because there was that many players that really went hard. So I got to give it to Junior just because he scored that try on his debut, and it was just such a good try. Jumped up, caught that try, and then shook off Drinkwater to get around. Did that spin and threw him off. So he gets me 1.
Rob?
Yeah, Jacko for 3, guys. It's just blind Freddie would have picked Jacko for 3. He's just too good. His composure's out of this world, and the brain on him. Yeah, just if Toa had that IQ, those smarts, we probably win the game. Seriously, he's just such a smart player. I'm with Shane too. I've gone Joffa for 2 points. I actually thought he ran the ball really well in the first half too. I know the numbers don't look big, but he was really good bringing the ball out of attack, quick play the balls. And his leadership, he's showing the way, and he's respected now amongst the team. So, loving what he's doing for the club. And I've given my 1 point to Twal. His post-contact meters are ridiculous. 39 tackles again, none missed. But like I said, I could have given it to Garner. I just thought he got found out laterally a couple of times, but Garner's playing out of his skin. Brooksy and Musgrove were heading to points the way they were going the first half as well. So, a lot of good performances there, guys. But considering we had 14 players for close to 35 minutes, really courageous effort by the team, and I hope they find some energy for Friday night on the short backup.
I've got to go Jackson first as well. He's just like, it's a pretty normal performance by him, but if you're picking the best on the field, you just can't go past him. I feel like I don't want to pick points based on being different to you guys, but I think Ken deserves a couple of points. I might go Ken, give Kenny a couple, and then Junior another one. He had a great debut game as well. So yeah, I think Ken deserves a couple of points going in there as well. A couple of people sending through their comments. F321 for this week: Rachel, Jacko, Trolley, Kenny, Joey, Elefacci, Jacko, Tupou, Twally. So
no one's disagreeing on man of the match, are they?
Yeah, he's just unbelievable. Jackson Hastings, Rob, 2 hours was never going to be doable tonight. But for those who are only just tuned in, thanks to everyone who's tuned in the live show. It has to be a record how many we've had tonight. Like we were well into, I think we were around 60 at our peak.
Man, tonight was fun. Tonight was really good fun.
The comments were coming in real good.
Yeah. We've got to keep reading those comments out there. They're really fun.
Yeah. So be sure to follow us on the socials, guys. Facebook, Twitter, if you use your Twitter, and Instagram as well. But yeah, the streams go through the Facebook. For those listening audio only, 8:30 Monday and Thursday nights for the most part. Go through the YouTube or Facebook. Twitter, you can watch it on Twitter as well. We can't get comments through Twitter. So go through either one of those, like and share. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about us. Spread the word.
Shoot us an email. Love to read
an email. We've got an email. We're on everything. We're on MySpace. No, we're not on MySpace. Podcast at westlife.com.
Why not?
No, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll put it on my to-do list. We need what song should we have on our page?
Oh, Welcome to the Jungle, because I really liked that one.
Guns N' Roses.
When we had that was good. That was a good entrance song. It's better than Eye of the Tiger, I believe.
Yeah.
G'd me up a lot more.
my favorite AC/DC, well, obviously you're talking about Guns N' Roses. Hell's Bells but it's the Panthers. That's my favorite AC/DC song, with the fucking Panthers kind of ruined it for me. But because that's
go AC/DC, mate. Get on the Angus theme.
Absolutely, Angus.
Come on, Angus. We want you.
I can't wait. If we do sign him, we're going to play AC/DC's Whole Lotta Rosie live with the Angus chant at the start of it. If we get it. But those just tuning in, we talked about Angus Crichton talking to the Tigers. But boys, I'll let Shane get to bed. Rob will let you get to bed. We all, it was a long one, but thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thanks to all the comments, and we'll do it again to preview our game against the Bulldogs on Friday, and we'll be live 8:30 Thursday night, and we'll talk to you then. As always, drop it in the comments, guys. As always, boys, go the Tigers.
Go the Tigers.
That was a good one. Nice.